Hey guys, we're back for 10 Pages a Day virtual book club with The Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakhiani. We are on part 2, The Awakening, starting on page 43, and we make it all the way to, hold on here, page 54. So the middle of 54. It's not exactly part 2 starts on page 43, but the actual chapter doesn't start until page 45. So let me just run through my notes here. So part 2 is called The Awakening, the Power to Choose Your Version of the World, in which Vishen talks about a little bit more about his past in Taekwondo. It's really an interesting story of him, I would say. So, key into those parts, log in. I apologize for this camera angle. I am out of town right now. I'm visiting my parents, and I'm in a room that the lighting's a little bit different. It's been a long day traveling and what have you, so I'm a bit of a hot mess, but get it like it is. um, so we're calling this level 2, the awakening. So chapter 3 talks about practicing consciousness engineering. Consciousness engineering is this idea that Vishen came up with. He talks about that computer analogy, and I'm not really sure if that's where I'd gotten it from. I hadn't read this before, like I said, but um, it was just really interesting reading that. I was like, yeah, that computer metaphor is actually pretty decent for describing, how our minds work. So, getting into that, he talks about an operating system for human consciousness when we get to page 50. And he says the first thing is our models of realities. This is like where we get our um, how we hack our behavior in our minds, basically. One is our models of reality. So we call that our hardware. And the models of reality are your beliefs about the world. Um, and he writes here, the important thing to realize is that no matter what these beliefs are, they become true because we act and think in accordance with them. Thus, our beliefs truly do shape our world in a very real sense. But while our beliefs make you, while your beliefs make you, your beliefs are not you. I think this is really important because perception is, I always say perception is half the battle, but thinking broad strokes, the way that our mind categorizes things, puts things in its place, makes sense of things, is all based on the different layers of our beliefs, of our programming, right? So realizing that there's this loop, right? It's let's see, I have to remember there's 3 things, but it's belief. Now I can't remember. It's going to come to me, don't worry. But it's basically about how your beliefs and your experiences kind of feed off of each other in this loop. So basically, your experiences confirm your beliefs, and your beliefs create your experiences. And I, of course, can't think of it off the top of my head what it is, but the basics, what the words are, the basic concept is that you believe something, and then because you believe it, your experiences are confirmed by it because that's what you are looking for. That's how your brain is categorizing any information that comes in relation to that belief and making it make sense. So we talk about the mind, right? And how incredibly powerful the mind is. I come up against this in coaching. It's like your mind will say, like, say you wanted to lose weight, right? And yet there is a significant reason subconsciously that you shouldn't lose weight. So something that you maybe never have thought about on a surface level, but maybe you're thinking, oh my gosh, if I lose weight, then you know what? I'll give you my example. If I lose weight, then I may be more attractive, which means people might look at me and I'm not really sure that I want that attention because that means then I'll have to be somehow more amazing than I feel like I am right now. Ugh, right? Who has time for all that? That's a lot to keep up with. But say that that's my programming, right? So my CPU is working in the background, it's doing all this stuff, blah, 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 and I'm trying, in the meantime, to lose weight. Well, the programming that's going on in my head is saying, no, 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 no. We can't lose weight because all of those other things that you said would happen, which means we're not safe. Body, person of Denise is not safe, which means we can't lose weight. So I'm going to trigger a habit or a behavior loop that goes back in accordance with this idea that losing weight is unsafe. So I start to reinforce whatever the surface belief is that like I'm not good enough to lose weight, or I can never lose weight, or whatever, and it starts to feed this loop. So the belief is I can't lose weight, and the experience is no, you can't, because my mind has been my mind has been programmed to say it's not safe. And those two just keep feeding around on each other until you change the programming. In this case, until I say it's okay if I lose weight, because that's not going to change who I am. And then my body can, or my mind can say, oh, okay, well then there's no need to binge out on those Pop-Tarts, Denise. Put the Pop-Tarts down, you'll be fine. This isn't exactly my experience, but it was something a lot like that. It was closer to, being put on a pedestal in my relationship. Like, I don't feel like I'm that amazing, so I don't want somebody else to think I'm that amazing, because then I have to be. But again, it comes back to that. But it's, as he says, while your beliefs make you, your beliefs are not you. And that's significant to remember. They're not us. Our minds aren't us. We can change and mold and bend all of that programming to represent the upgrade that we're making in our life. When we read these books, when we go to this seminar, when we have this, whatever, that is software upgrade, and we can always shift those things in accordance to. He says here, the next section is what you think is what you get. And again, he says, what you think and believe about the world shapes who you are and your experience of the world around you. Just the same thing that we were just talking about. And this is interesting because he gets into the placebo effect a little bit here, which are results that appear to come purely from a person's mindset instead of a specific medication or medical treatment. The reason he talks about that is this incredible study that was done about some maids in a hotel, and this idea, like, okay, here's one. So this is the what was talked about during the study, was that these maids were asked, how much do you exercise in a day? Now everybody think really quickly about what a maid does in a hotel. They're in there bending, scraping, picking up towels, changing the sheets on the bed, vacuuming, any number of hotel rooms in a day, right? So it sounds like work to me. I don't know about you, but it sounds like work to me. But they asked these maids, how much exercise are you getting? And they were like, oh, we're not getting any exercise. So they did these health panels on these women and found that their health levels were at the same level as a sedentary person. And they were kind of shocked by that. So they had a conversation with these women, and they told them how much they actually burned. I think it says here, of course I don't have it highlighted. They didn't give them a specific number, but they gave them a rundown of calorie counts for various cleaning activities and put similar information where the maids could see it while they were at work. So it's just a reminder, right? When they came back a month later, these women had lost weight, they had lower blood pressure, and they were overall significantly healthier based on measurements of their body fat, body mass index, and waist to hip ratio. All because of a shift in their head about what they were doing, about their belief about what it meant to be exercising. Shifted actual physical indicators in their body. So if you ever think that the mind is not a powerful thing, think again. Like just think about that. And he says here, if the mind is so powerful that it can actually change health based on a changed perspective, imagine what that could mean about the mind's power to control our mood, our self confidence, our happiness, and everything else that determines the quality of our time here on earth. I'm tempted, honestly, to just stop the video right now because that's huge. Like, I want you to marinate on that for a day. If the mind is so powerful that it can actually change health based on a changed perspective, imagine what that could mean about the mind's power to control our mood, our self confidence, our happiness, and everything else that determines the quality of our time here on earth. I am going to leave it at that. I'll see you guys tomorrow.